back, I was at a friend's place for girls' night. After a while, the conversation turned towards relationships, when one of my friends stated that marriage is a compromise. In the last 6 years that I have been married to my husband, I never even once felt that I had compromised. So I quickly responded, "It doesn't have to be, mine is not." To this, another friend said, "If you haven't made any compromises, then your husband definitely has." Throughout the bus ride home, I kept thinking about this conversation. Does marriage really have to be a compromise? Was my husband compromising? I mean, he did leave his career in the US to move to Spain with me. As soon as I reached home and he opened the door, I frantically asked my husband, "Are you compromising in this marriage?" He, who was by now used to random questions from me, calmly asked me to elaborate. I rehashed the conversation with the girls and asked the question again. After thinking for what felt like an eternity, he finally replied, "I understand where your friends are coming from, but frankly, if marriage is a compromise, then every relationship in this world is one. In fact, every important choice that we make is a compromise." Huh, interesting, isn't it? 3 years back, my brother married the love of his life, a beautiful Chinese woman. And last year, during the really stressful COVID times, they had their first baby. He's the cutest baby that I've ever seen. But since then, because of a crazy schedule and sleep deprived nights, my brother is almost always exhausted. He rarely has time to speak with us. Would you say by deciding to become a dad, my brother made a compromise? In July 2019, I left a high paying job in the US to move to Spain for my MBA. No one in my entire family could understand why I would give up a comfortable life in the US and move to a continent that I had never been before. The first year of my MBA journey was overwhelming. There was just so much to do and so little time to do it. I also struggled to find that perfect job opportunity that I gave up my previous life for. I received rejection after rejection from companies I thought were a great fit for me. My self-confidence plummeted, and there were some days when I had no energy to get up in the morning and repeat the process. Would you say by giving up my comfortable life, I made a compromise? My husband is absolutely dedicated to his fitness. Every morning, he gets up before 6, leaves the warmth of the blanket, gives up on our cuddle time to go for his workouts. He eats healthy, avoids alcohol, and rarely attends social events. Would you say by making these choices, he is compromising? I wanted to get a deeper understanding of how these choices are perceived. So I reached out to a diverse group of people in my network. I talked to young parents, my MBA colleagues, and people who regularly work out. Most young parents told me that the physical exhaustion, the sleepless nights were all worth it. One of them said, "Look at that bundle of joy. I can do anything for my baby." My MBA colleagues said that this MBA is a worthwhile investment for a successful career. People who are active and regularly work out told me that the choices that they made were all necessary for a healthy body and a longer life. To my surprise, however, majority of this group also agreed that marriage and compromises go hand in hand. Doesn't anything worth having in life require some amount of sacrifice? In other areas of our lives, we generally realize and accept the need for these sacrifices. We gladly call them investment. Then why, when we have to do the same for our marriage, we call these compromises? This finding really troubled me. You see, in a compromise, the parties involved must make concessions in order to reach a middle ground. Thus, by definition, compromise occurs when we come in with certain expectations and end up getting less than what we had expected. Doesn't that make marriage nothing but a lose-lose relationship? This feeling that we have compromised could be a result of two things in a marriage. One, we haven't clearly communicated our expectations to our partners. And two, we are expecting way more than our partners can comfortably deliver on. I grew up seeing several marriages with a lot of dissatisfaction. Even as a teenager, I could tell that the main problem was that the partners would not clearly communicate their needs to each other. But aren't we all guilty of that? If my partner loves me, they should understand what I want, we say. Sometimes we are too egoistic to clearly let them know our needs. Sometimes we just don't want the hassle of having that tough conversation. And then when our partners cannot deliver our expectations, we think we must compromise. Very early on in our relationship, my husband and I made a promise that we will always let each other know our feelings and our expectations. We also started scheduling regular communication sessions with each other. Even today, these sessions are really important to us. We never take these for granted and treat them just like an important work meeting. As we have grown older and our expectations have evolved, these sessions have made us much more considerate of one another. These sessions have helped us understand each other much better. It hasn't been easy at all though. It takes a lot of discipline to regularly schedule these sessions. It takes a lot of courage to open up to each other about things that are difficult to bring up. The second part of the equation is expecting more than our partners can comfortably deliver on. I still remember one of the sessions that I attended in my first year of my MBA at our business school was called How to Manage Expectations from this MBA. As unambitious as it may sound, managing expectations is the key to a happy and satisfied life. And we are pretty good at managing expectations in other areas of our lives. I do not expect to run a marathon in a month when today I cannot even run a 5K without almost dying. I'm working on it though. My brother doesn't expect his baby to not cry during the night. And my MBA colleagues do not expect to become Fortune 500 CEOs right after graduation. But from our partners, we expect sometimes way too much. We put pressure on them. We want them to be a part of every aspect of our lives. And then when they cannot deliver on these expectations, we think we must compromise. Over time, thanks to our communication sessions, my husband and I have understood each other's limitations and preferences. We manage our expectations from one another, and we do it generously. For example, when I started my MBA in Barcelona, I wanted to be a part of every weekend party that was organized because one, I love going to parties, and two, as one of my MBA goals, I wanted to build a large personal network. Now these parties would go on till late at night, and as my husband needed to get up early in the morning for his workouts, he could not join me. So I managed my expectations and understood that he needed to sleep early, while he managed his expectations and accepted that I would not be at home with him during those nights. This comes with a caveat though. Managing expectations only works if that expectation is not non-negotiable for you. If that expectation stems from your core, if it is something that you got to have in your life, then managing it invariably becomes a compromise. For example, if your non negotiable is to travel the world while your partner wants to have kids and settle down, it'll be very difficult for this marriage to not be a lifelong compromise. So it is absolutely essential that we know our non negotiables and we communicate those to our partners before committing to our partners. When we decided to get married, my husband's family wanted a traditional Indian wedding. A lot of rituals in traditional Indian wedding originate from a patriarchal point of view. I thought these were against my core values and I did not want to be a part of them. When I communicated this to my husband, he agreed with me, but his parents were absolutely against a wedding without those rituals. What followed was a year-long emotionally draining process of trying to get them to understand how important that was for me. There were several times when my relationship with my husband was tested as well, and I thought that I should just give up and compromise. But I didn't, because that was my non negotiable, and I knew that I would not be able to manage my expectations around it. So, yeah, my marriage has not been a bed of roses. It has required discipline, courage, and patience. It has been emotionally draining at times, but it has not been a compromise.